See, we all have different ideas of what we consider being a strong lineup together with tactics, and you can also say that we have all the talents in the world in this team and ask the question, why aren't they playing bad? Is it because the players maybe aren't too good enough? But I am a full belief that tactics and system, player instructions can make so much difference for any team. It doesn't really matter if you have talents or not. It depends on how the manager is setting up the team. And if you're having tactics that doesn't suit them, or if they can't execute it, or if you can't come up with an idea of how you're going to develop them individually so they will suit your tactics, then things can start to go really bad, which just has for us this season. And as I mentioned in my last video, over these 6 months, what have we really improved overall as a team? Has our system and tactics improved anything? We have been creating chances here and there, but overall, from top to bottom, it has been very poor. Both in terms of set pieces, when we're defending, and when we're going to press, in the build-up play, movement is poor, and we're not having enough urgency. The final third of players looking absolutely lost, and when it comes to being clinical, we are the worst team in the league of converting the chances we're creating. So you start to wondering, maybe it's a time Pochettino is starting to try something new, rethink a little bit. It also is key that you're using your players in the roles that they are very good in. I mean, you can experiment here and there to try and see, but if you clearly see that Levi Colwill as a left back is not working, you shouldn't continue with that. I mean, the guy is just losing confidence in his own abilities. He will start to forget how it is playing as a centre back. So I think it's about time Pochettino rethink and try to do something else. Start by just having players in the position they should be playing in, and then you're starting to see what centre back pairing will fit, what fullback you should have, who should be in the pivot as wingers, in the number 10 role, and all the way up to the striker position. Because I really believe that if you're playing players in the position, if you're having roles that suits them, if you're having a clear idea and clear instructions for every player, so they know what they are able to do, I think we're going to see much better performances overall in these coming weeks if Pochettino will still be Chelsea manager, because what he's doing so far is clearly not working. If he's going to continue with that, I expecting us to actually drop points yet again. So maybe we can then go into a little bit what I would do. So in my 4-2-3-1, I would have Petrovic in goal. I will have Thiago Silva and Badiashile as centre back pairing. Badiashile is back in the squad, which was confirmed by Pochettino. Chilwell is that as well. But Chilwell has been out for a long-term injury, so I will have him on the bench to come in as a substitution later. But Badiashile, Silva good in possession, and we need a left-footed centre-back on that left centre-back side. I think Colwill needs a little bit of mental rest because he had it tough. On the right-hand side, as my fullback, I will have Malagusto. As a left-back, I'm going with Dylan Williams that we have been having on the bench for a couple of games now, and I looked up at Football Manager to actually see what he is playing as. He's playing as a left back. So why haven't Pochettino even tried him as a substitution for like 10 minutes against Middlesbrough or Preston? He is a left back. Maybe he isn't good enough, but at least you're having someone knowing their position and role. We need, in my opinion, attacking fullbacks that are going to help our wingers. because this positional play we're trying to do, we're having Cole will invert, it just doesn't work so far, and it can't really defend those wide areas. And if Dylan Williams is playing bad, bring on Chilwell then in the second half. He should be able to play at least 45 minutes. He has been out for a while with his injury, so maybe he can't play 90 minutes. So give this guy a chance. I mean, we have academy guys for a reason. And if we having them in the squad, and we have an option to play them now because of injuries, etc. Madsen has been going to Dortmund on a loan, then why not give this guy a chance? At least I think we will become more fluid on the flanks. And then in my pivot, I'm going to go with Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. And I'm going to rest Gallagher for this game. He's going to be on the bench as a substitution. I think Gallagher has been very good this season. I think he's an important player. But I want to see what Caicedo and Enzo can do in a lineup without Gallagher, and just see if we becoming more fluid, because Enzo and Caicedo is really good in terms of the build-up play, with their progressive passes, tempo they playing in. I think they can do much better than we have been seeing them so far. If you're looking how Enzo played for Argentina in the World Cup, how he played for Benfica, or Caicedo has been playing for Ecuador and Brighton, they have been beasts there. And in Chelsea, they looking like a ghost of themselves. So that's why I believe we should use them together in a pivot without Gallagher for once, and just see what it will do with a midfield. I think our tempo in the game is going to be better overall, since Gallagher isn't as good in the possession as Enzo and Caicedo. And in the number 10 role, I'm going with Cole Palmer, because he is creative and he has that sort of intelligence where to be in the right moment, and he's very good in attacking the box as well, and we need that in our number 10. I don't want to see a makeshift number 10. I want to see someone that is creative, that will be high up in the pitch when he has to, that is good in terms of attacking the box. That's what I want in my number 10. And it's good in the press too. As my wingers, I'm going with Mykhailo Mudryk and Noni Madueke on each side. I have had enough of Raheem Sterling. Mudryk and Madueke is the future here, so I will start them. I think Mudryk has been looking really well, and he likes to cut inside. And I think he will be even more dangerous if he's having an overlapping left back. If it is Dylan Williams or Chilwell, depends how fit Chilwell is. But I think that will help our left side in the attack. Mudryk is really dangerous when he has the ability to cut inside. That means Enzo will have it easier to find him there. On the right hand side, we can have Madueke being out wide, hugging the touchline, because that's what he's really good at. And then we can have Malo Gusto making inverted runs instead of overlapping runs. I think we're becoming maybe then a bit more unpredictable. So we're having overlapping left back, and then we're having an underlapping right back, and Madueke can play a through ball on Gusto, or if Gusto is making a run, he's dragging a Fulham player with him, and that open up space to find maybe a Cole Palmer in those pockets, and then he can maybe take a shot on goal, or finding someone in the far post, make a cross. We have a lot of more attacking options if we're having two fullbacks going up. And then up front, I'm going with Armando Broja. We need just someone that can play as a proper striker, not someone that's going to be a false nine. I don't think a player that is so young can play with a false nine now. And I don't think we should change too much in terms of player positions. But in this lineup, you got players playing in every correct position. So what I would do is to play with a high line, as you see here. And Silva isn't the fastest guy, but what he's really good at is when it comes to offside traps. He's good at marking his attackers, being aggressive, making the right tackles at the right time. And if Gusto is little tucked inside here and inverted, he can help on the transition and defend Silva there. Badiashile is pretty quick. Caicedo and Fernandes will be compact in that middle too, so it will be more difficult for Fulham to go on counters through the middle, so they have to play it out wide. That's what I would do. We are having Cole Palmer, Broja attacking the box, Madueke hugging the touchline, as you see here, and as I said, Mudryk will be more like an inside forward, and we have also the ability or the option to create overloads on that left hand side if we're having a left back going up there in the attack. So I would play with a high line, many players going up forward, having players attacking the box, and then when we're losing possession, we pressing to win the ball back, and then we're recycling and continuing having possession. That's what I would do if I was in charge there with a costume or a tracksuit on that touchline. Also have to think like, how are we going to create chances? And I would try to start by making it more simple. Well, nothing is really simple, but if we're having attacking fullbacks, that makes it easier for us to make cutbacks passes with our wingers or our fullbacks, and that is what I would do, because then you can find players running and attacking in the box, and Palmer is really good at that. And it will also open up spaces in those half pockets. So that's what I would do. We're also having a Mudryk making inverted runs, so you can make quick 1-2 passes, then go on a shot, or you're making a through ball on him. And then if you're going up 1-0 lead, we can, and if we're struggling in with our high line, we can revert back into a mid block that Pochettino likes to defend in a 4-4-2. And if we're defending in a 4-4-2 and our midfield is getting overrun, well, then you're just dropping down Cole Palmer in the midfield as a right centre mid, and then you're defending in a 4-5-1 instead. You have to be adaptable under the game and manage Pochettino. You have to do that. You have to help the team out there. They are young guys. You have to guide them. You have to be like Antonio Conte used to be, screaming and pointing everywhere the whole game. In terms of a score prediction, it's going to be difficult against this 4-2-3-1 Fulham. They have Raul Jimenez back, who is very good in the air. Williams scored goal against Liverpool. Joao Palhinha, Kearney in the pivot is good too. They have a decent team, Fulham. If Pochettino continue being stubborn and going with the same lineup, I think it will end in a 1-1 draw. But if he's trying something new, being more attacky, having a high line with high press, basically playing total football, I think we can get a couple of goals. I think we can win 2-1 or 3-2. We have to focus also on scoring more goals, because that will relieve pressure. Sure, you might let in a few more, but the players is gaining more confidence in the final third. And we're having smart centre-back, especially in Thiago Silva. Even if he's slow and can't maybe catch up on a through ball, he's very good on playing those offside traps and mark his attackers and win the possession back. So yeah, a longer video this time. I'm trying to get my point across of what I would do in terms of tactics, how I would like to attack and defend, etc. What I think Pochettino should try and do. We're just gonna end the video on 2 funny news, or one of them is funny. But the first one is that David Datro Fofana flying from Berlin to Burnley. Here we go. So we're loaning out Fofana to Burnley. See if he's going to save company's team. Here's Fofana with Ali Barat, owner of Epic Sports, off to a new step. Huge move to Burnley, as there was a lot of competition for his signature loan deal from Chelsea almost completed. So I wish him good luck there and see how it will go. And the last piece of news is so funny now. Do you see who it is on this picture? We have been wondering where this guy even is. I thought he has like traveled off the earth and up to the moon somewhere, because I couldn't understand where this guy was. But here he is. He's training with the development squad. Chelsea have taken in also 2 16-year-old Japanese bowlers on trial for 2 weeks. Keito Kamishiro and Sota Otamatsu, if I pronounce that right. Football is growing quickly out in Japan. That is true. There is many bowlers, and if you're playing Football Manager, Japan got some exciting young prospects there that I like to sign. If you're of course brand new here, want to be a legend, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page, hit that notification bell down below so you never miss when I upload. So thank you so much for watching.